Hello, and welcome to another video. We'll be going over dirty fighting and virulence, mostly from dirty fighting point of view because I don't have my sniper leveled up yet. At the top left, you'll see the implants that I recommend. These are the ones that I use. There are other viable ones like the decreased cooldown, spoiler's luck, and I think there's another one that's also decent. I just happen to already own these, so I feel like these are not only really good, maybe the best, in my opinion, that I see no reason to really get the other ones. These are the stats that I run. I'm running 4 alacrity enhancements, and then I'm running, well, obviously we got 2 implants, so it's just 2 implants plus 2 enhancements to hit the 4. And then we're running 2 accuracy enhancements, and then everything else is going into critical. Then for our tacticals, we're running ultraviolet blast most of the time. I haven't gotten to try airborne agents yet, but it seems very interesting. I think it could be fun. A lot of your damage is coming from your snipe replacement anyway, so there is probably potential. Then exploited weaknesses. I think that would be really good for like just single target bursting on people. If you were to find, like, I don't know, let's say a good merc healer able to survive, or you just need to apply sustained damage to somebody that's going to be alive for a long time, probably exploited weakness can do some great stuff because it will allow you to have the extra dot and have better uptime, I believe, because you're not taking ultraviolet. Therefore, you can do that more and you're less focused on AoE like airborne agents is, which is pretty cool. The talents that I'm taking, I would recommend. However, there are viable options for other ones. I do think it's kind of like personal preference, so I won't completely go into that. But these are what I use and what I prefer. Going into our main combos, this is actually incredibly simple, and the reason why is because there's not much to it, and there's not much reason to use certain abilities. The first thing you'll see is that vital shot, which is your corrosive dart, into shrap bomb, which is corrosive grenade, into smuggler's chems, which is I can't remember what it's called on Imperial, sorry. Into hammering blast or barrage. It's one of those, which is basically your toxic blast, right? And it'll pop off your dots. Then you can pop your other buff, which is illegal mods, which will give you accuracy and some energy regen, some armor pen or something like that, and go into wounding shots. Wounding shots will reapply the dots that you just had fall off, and it will do increased damage. And then you can either go into quick draw, because quick draw will actually hit something decent. It's like one of your hardest hitting things outside of dot explosion. Into double snipe, which is, I know it's called something different, into wounding shots again. So basically the way the spec will work is that you want to use your cull / wounding shots non-stop. That's where a lot of your damage is going to come from, and if you can't just continuously cast this, you lose damage. But dots should be your #1 priority, then wounding shots on somebody. So wounding is, again, most important. One way to think of it is that if you use a speed shot, which is a series of shots, that ability, not very good. We don't really use it. It's kind of DPS loss most of the time to use it, but it is an instant ability, so if you need it, you can use it. You could use 1 series of shots, and then immediately go back into wounding shots again. So if you just want to be lazy, or you gotta like take your hand off the keyboard or something, you can totally do that. However, the ability is just really not good, so that's why it's not really part of the rotation anymore. And then you can also pretty much think of it like every single time, you're always going to do like 2 snipes after a wounding shot, and then your wounding shot will be back and you can use it again. Nothing you really have to think about at all on this spec. It's very easy, very straightforward, so you can focus on your defensive management positioning because it's going to be the most important thing, because it's class. Survival is definitely not its strong suit. Thankfully, because it's so simple, there's not much to think about. Again, it's very easy to pick up. It is still ranged, and it still is a very, very squishy class, and if you don't know what you're doing defensively or utility-wise on this spec, you're just going to get blown up. There's no way to get around that. Just give you an example of like kind of like with the rotation you'll see. So you'll immediately pop that, go into wounding shots, and then we can quick draw. Let me just snipe again. I'll do it twice by the time this is up. And we just do this indefinitely, pretty much. There's nothing to think about. There's really quite literally go sightseeing the entire time. This is ranged life, so to me it's crazy, but hey, this is how most people play the game. It's pretty cool. I like Virulence a lot. I love the cool sound. Cool sound is so good. Probably the reason why I like it over the other ones. I also like penetrating rounds on MM. That sounds wonderful. Main reason why I don't play this class, or you don't see me play this class very often, is that sometimes you get stuck like this after you roll. And the only way for me to get out of this mode is to click twice to get my mouse back. I move with both WASD and mouse movement sometimes, and when that happens, it really screws me up. And it frustrates me more than not. I hate when bugs like that have existed since pretty much launch of the game that have never been fixed. So my enjoyment on this class is just sometimes it leads to frustration because of that. And I'm also not a big fan of channel/range classes. But I do find Virulence and dirty fighting a lot of fun. I'm not a big fan on SWTOR or engineering, so I probably won't do a guide for that, but for MM and sharpshooter, most likely. Other than that, I hope this helped. If you guys have any questions about this spec or class, just feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to help.